Hey Clashes, in just a couple of hours, the second ranked week is going to start, and this means we're going to take a look at bases for town level 9 all the way up to town level 17, as well as sharing a couple of things which I've learned over the first week, because, well, let me explain to you first, the base is kind of tricky to set. I was lucky because take a look at the defense log so far, and if you're wondering what is the base, don't worry, I will link that down below as well, next to the other bases. But somehow it did not take the base which I actually wanted to put, and instead just put this base. So apparently you have to really select the base before you're even pressing the sign up button. At least that's how it worked for me. As well, really important information, I feel like a lot of people are wondering and like asking me about is you cannot change the base over the ranked week. It's set. You cannot change it. But apparently, at least I thought you could change the base during the like sign up period for the week, but well, you have to set it before that. So make sure that you actually pick your base properly and make sure that you're choosing wisely. For me, luckily this one defended really well. I mean, it's either 3 or 1 star for whatever reason, but I guess Invis Tower bases work quite well in the for the I guess lower leagues. But either way, let's dive in with the first bases and as well with the best clan castles for each of them. A really big shout out goes to RH Base Bidding for providing the town level 9 all the way up to town level 15 base, and then as well the town 17 base, because this time around I have thrown one of my bases in there on the town 16 level, so let's hope for the best that it's going to defend. But if you want to get your own custom made base from RH Base Bidding, make sure to check them out. I have linked them down below the description of the video. But let's kick things off with the town level 9. On this one, again, we have the core town hall, we have a lot of storages around it. And, well, the base builder value on this one has thought, let's just have as many housings, like as many hit points as possible in the core, and then have the defense around it and hope for the best. Because, let's be honest, if the attacker knows that dragons exist in this game, and it's having somewhat of a decent aim with a giant arrow, defending on tower 9 is really rough. But the client card's recommendation is still a Lava Hound. Next one, town level 10. Again, we have the base builder Valley. On this one, he's recommending 1 super minion, then as well 2 headhunters, and then 11 archers. We have the same concept overall though, which means we have the tunnel in the core, a lot of the storages around the core, and then making sure that the dragons are somewhat stuck in there. And, well, the outside defense can just deal as much damage as possible, and you have the chance of defending, hopefully. This is kind of what you have to hope for with those bases. Again, those lower town levels, for people who know what they're doing, it's really hard to defend. You have seen that maybe in the Clash Combo tournament, or even hard mode, those lower town levels had no chance whatsoever. So they should defend, though, really nicely versus those players who are not as experienced. And you can as well tell that with a couple of little hints and tricks we can see now from the base builders, because this next base is from, we have VRB here on town level 11. Because the eagle is more towards the top set, we have the sweepers around the core as well, which makes the split then right after the eagle really like awkward. And as well as the black mines then on the other side, so people who are entering with air into the eagle side do not block as many of those black mines with the Eternal Tome ability, but instead run into the black mines then as the loons died out, as the Eternal Tome and all of the abilities went out. So that's kind of then the time where you want to strike with those traps. The recommended client cards here is 1 super minion, 2 headhunters, and then again, fill with archers. The next one, town level 12, again from VRB. And we have another beautiful base this time around. I have to say, I really like the setup between the eagle and as well the tunnel compartment. And then you have the sweepers in between. Why is that important? Well, pretty simple, because anyone who's entering from the eagle side has to either invest lightnings for those sweepers or have to really get a proper giant arrow in there, because going in between with the blimp between 2 sweepers makes it literally impossible to reach the town hall if you don't use any other support for that blimp. Especially having the tornado trap in there as well should protect your town hall really well. That's the overall setup, especially then with the defending hero right behind the town hall. Should distract the troops as long as possible to make sure that you can survive with your town hall compartment. Next next town hall is wolves on town hall 13, the base builder wolves, which means we have the client cast recommendation from a lava hound, 2 headhunters, and then archers. The setup on this one, again, having the double sweeper setup between the town hall and as well the eagle should be one of the best setups for you to defend versus the pretty much masses of the players which are out there. because this setup should give them quite some trouble, especially if they're not capable of sniping them with, for example, things like the giant arrow. They're going to struggle quite a bit. This time around, we have the tornado trap a little bit offset to the side to make sure that the troops are maybe getting rotated away from the town hall. Next one, that's one going to be built from ESK with the town level 14. And I really like this because this, while not having the sweepers between the town hall and the eagle, is using a different technique, which is, first off, sweepers pointing into the direction of the eagle. But even more importantly, we have the eagle as like the entry point, and then we have Blackmans right behind. The reason is because the blimp now losing the Eternal Tome 1 second after leaving it. And this means anyone who's entering from the eagle side is going to lose the blimp to the two Blackmans. It is never going to reach the town hall. This is why it's a separate compartment over there. The Yetis or whatever are in there won't get to the town hall, and instead the town hall should survive, especially with those two sweepers pointing into that direction. That should really help you to defend on that town level. The clan cast recommendation here is 1 furnace, an ice golem, 2 rockadoons, and then the archer to fill. Next one again, Town Hall 15, as well from ESK. Another beautiful looking base, and this time around we are going towards Rage Towers. Otherwise, if you're looking for any other bases, or if you're asking a base builder to build you a base, something I can recommend are Invis Tower bases, because they somehow defend like crazy, because people have no clue how to attack them, especially if you are facing like the not best attackers. It's kind of scary. But Rage Tower is just like dishing out the damage is something which can really work great, and this is why he even put the eagle artillery next to one of those rage towers. If a raged up eagle is going to hit your troops which are stacked up, say goodbye to them. That is how strong this combination can be. Putting it off is the trickier part, that is for sure. But overall, if you set it up like on this base where you have the eagle further into the core, which means troops from the outside are going to trigger that the rage, and then the eagle can really fire away and deal a lot of damage. The clan cards on this one as well is going to be the furnace, the ice golem, 2 rockadoons, and then archers. This base right here, as I said, is built from me, and I use this base in one of the playtests for the ranked mode with other creators. And for those who are like not as good or not as active in the game, I just call them not as active because I feel like that's, I guess, nicer. But those who are not that active in the game, not that good, will fail anyways on like the really toxic core. But especially for those who are a little bit better, which means they're using Royal Gem and charges, it's heavily baited on the eagle side, because pretty much everyone went for the eagle with the Royal Gem and charge. But with all of the traps, the tornado trap and everything, it's really tricky to get it, or you have to invest so many resources that is not really worth it. As well, the core then, especially with all of the spring traps, are just going to deal so much damage. And the clan cast on this one is as well just an ice golem, a furnace, and then you can fill with another ice golem or archers, and that's kind of like up to you. But I just really like furnace to ice golems and then build with whatever. Town Hall 17, that base is built by Brurak, and this is one of the best setups you can possibly go for, which is the Rage Invis compartment. This setup for the Town Hall 17 with the long range of the Town Hall itself is just insanely annoying to crack. The thing here is that especially not in the highest leagues, you're going to farm defenses like crazy with this setup, because it means people just don't know how to approach it. Not everyone is going to use the giant arrow or an invis and skeleton spell to trigger the invis tower, which means if they have finally made it and got their troops into the core, the invis tower is going to trigger, and rage is going to trigger as well. Your troops are going to turn around, and the damage on your troops is going to be crazy high. And this is the entire concept of the space, and those spaces are still forcing 1-stars on really high trophies in Legend League. So you can tell already this setup is popular, this setup is scary, this setup, especially versus the more average clasher, is going to give you great defenses, that's for sure. The recommended clan cards here from Burak is 2 ice golems, a furnace, and then filled with archers, pretty much the same which I recommended for the Town Hall 16 base. And that's it for today's video with all of the bases. I hope they're going to defend great. All of the base links are going to be down below in the description of the video. And if you want to get your own custom-made base, make sure to check out RH Base Building. And best of luck for the next ranked season. Otherwise, thank you so much, and I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next class video. Until then, see ya, and bye-bye.